welcome to Cook with Mama Bear. Today we're gonna make egg rolls. They're so good. Before we begin, make sure everybody please wash your hands 20 seconds, 10, 20, hot soapy water. If you're under the age of 18, or even if you're tall, make sure you ask your parent or guardian, can you cook in the kitchen? Because once I say yes, then you can cook in the kitchen. So let's go. Okay, here's my ingredients, all the lovely stuff. So what I'm gonna do is take a mixing bowl, and we're gonna start with, I have some cabbage, and I just chopped it. This is what the cabbage looks like. This is the core or the end piece of the cabbage. You don't want to use that because it's too tough and fibrous. And then if you see pieces like this in your cabbage, you want to take this out because again, this is too hard. You want the softer stuff. So I chopped it up. This is about, well, all the ingredients will be in the description box or in the recipe. So we got our cabbage in a bowl. I got about a half a cup. I grated some carrot, fresh carrot, put that in the bowl. And then I don't have yellow onions, so I had to use purple onion, and then I have a little green onion. So I'm gonna put that in my bowl. Next, I have my chicken. And so it is just some pre-cooked chicken that I'm using. So what I decided to do, I'm gonna use a little bit of onion powder, and this is, I don't know, an eighth of a teaspoon, it's a few shakes, and then a little garlic powder, just to give your chicken a little flavor. And then I'm gonna use some black pepper. I'm probably gonna do like 2 or 3 cranks. Okay, that looks good. I will take a spoon. I'm gonna put my chicken in this bowl, and it's already pre-cooked, so you could use chicken from the deli, you could use baked chicken, you can boil some chicken. You just want to make sure your chicken, I think something just hit the floor, is just cooked all the way through. So you see how it's kind of light brown? You want your meat to be white or light brown, no pink. You need to cook that more. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this to make sure the seasonings are mixed in well. The chicken's going to go in the mixing bowl as well with all my beautiful vegetables. So we got one more thing to add, and then our egg roll mixture is ready. This is noodles. Move my chicken over. This is what the noodles look like in the package from the store. It's called vermicelli, but it is, the ingredient is mung bean and water, and they turn into a noodle. I just want to show you guys what it looks like without it being cooked. So it's really hard and it breaks really easy. See that? Well, it bends a little bit, but it's really hard. You just soak it in some really warm water. You don't boil it or they get too mushy. So now I've let soak for about 20 to 30 minutes, and this is what it looks like. And so the way you're going to do this is you're going to take some, let some of the extra water drip off, and I just put this over another dish. I take some scissors and I cut about 1-inch pieces, and then I may take a paper towel and like dab some of this extra water off, because you don't want oil. You don't want water in your egg roll because it's going to pop you when it gets in the hot oil. Okay, so I'm making a mess now. So this part is done. I probably am going to use this whole little section that I soaked in there, which is probably going to equal at least a cup. So I'm going to cut this off camera, and we're going to come back and put it together. Now I am ready. I cut the noodles off camera. It equals about 1.5 cups. I'm going to pour this in, and now I'm going to give it a nice stir. You want everything uniform, and that means there's no like big parts in your bowl that have like big parts of chicken or big parts of noodles or big parts of cabbage. So this is looking really good. I would add just a tiny bit of salt, but because that chicken is already salty, I'm not going to add any more salt to this, but you're more than welcome to do that. Okay, this looks good. Now I washed my hands, they're nice and clean. This is my egg roll skins that I'm going to use. I bought this from an Asian food market, so you might have a different brand than this one. So I'm going to pull this out, and you're going to peel off. They come frozen, and then you're going to peel off one at a time. The top one might be a little freezer burned, so you might not be able to use that one. So I'm going to peel this. It's really thin, and pliable means like it's really flexible, and it does stretch a little bit, but you don't want to get a hole in it. So I'm going to lay this down in the shape of a diamond facing me. I'm going to put in some of my mixture, And this is about, I don't know, a fourth of a cup. That looks about, yeah, that looks about right. You don't want to overfill it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the part that's closest to my belly, this little point, I'm going to pull it up over my filling. And then I'm going to bring both sides in like this. And now it's called egg roll because you can take an egg and beat it up and then take a brush or your fingers and dip it, and that seals the edges, or you can use water. So I would like to use water. So I'm going to dip my clean fingers in the water. I'm going to just wet the top of this, and then I'm going to roll this from my closest to me to farthest away, really tight. Tight, tight, tight. Ta-da! And then I push this down and that sticks. Now normally I always have a little bit coming off the sides, so I'm not super good at rolling egg rolls. Okay, so I'm gonna do it one more time, just so you guys can see. Let me do it again, and then off camera I'm gonna cook up a bunch. I have a stack of 40, so I know that's plenty. So again, it's shaped like a diamond. You get about a fourth of a cup of filling. You don't want to overdo it. If your chicken is really big, it might rip it too. So I'm going to go closest to my belly, go over the mixture, fold both ends in towards the center. I'm going to dip my fingers in and wet the top. And then I'm going to roll tight, 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 like that, and this should stick. Ooh, that's better. My ends are tucked in, yes. Okay, now my oil is smoking a little bit, and the next step is it's gonna catch on fire. So I did cut my flame down to medium, and it's been getting really hot, so it should sizzle right away. So I'm gonna put it in. Oh yes, and I'll put the other one in. Now because the chicken's already cooked and everything else in there is cooked or cut really thin, this should get golden brown within a matter of 1 to 2 minutes. Sometimes they sink, sometimes they rise to the top. Today, they're rising to the top. Now this one isn't going all the way down, so I might have to like take my tongs and like flip it over so it will, and then I might have to hold it, yeah, because sometimes they do not like to behave. So I might have to hold this for a moment so it will cook on one side. Sometimes they break open, hopefully it doesn't. So I'll come back and show you the finished. Okay, I finished the egg rolls and made about 14 of them. I probably could have made 15, but you know, 14 to 15. And they look like this. They're nice and crispy on the outside and golden brown. Yeah. And then you can serve it with soy sauce, hot mustard. A lot of people like sweet and sour sauce. That's my favorite. And it takes about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes total. It kind of depends on how hot your oil is. So thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget, stay and look while you cook. Bye.